Hey mathematicians, welcome to chapter 2, section 2. We're going to be talking about logic. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, which some of you probably didn't watch because you were in class, we need to really think about how we're going to study differently to be super successful in here. It's not going to be much like doing the assignment and move on and I'm done. You're going to have to do the assignment and you're going to have to study. Most of what you'll learn this year is going to be 100% brand new. And when you learn something brand new, it takes practice, it takes discussion, it takes studying, it takes reviewing, going over and over and over to really try to understand how it works. So as we're going through these units, please know that in addition to the instructional video or the in-class instruction and your assignment, you really need to be doing some studying. Get study groups going, reach out to family members, talk to your neighbor, explain to your dog how to do some of this. Whatever you need to do to verbalize and communicate and verbalize and communicate. And if your parents say, we don't understand geometry, I haven't done it since high school, which is totally, I wouldn't know it either. Give them your notes and make sure they're legible. Then they can go ahead and, read off a word and say contrapositive and you'll tell them what it is, right? So take some time to go through that. And study. It's going to take time. You're going to do fantastic with it. You're going to get as much out of it as you put into it. So keep that in mind as we go through this. Today we're going to be talking about logic. We're going to determine truth values of negations, conjunctions, and disjunctions, and find counter examples. So when you think about this, 8th graders, really, these are 3 brand new words. Those are words you're going to want to study because you haven't heard those before, okay? So here we go. I'm going to read through, explain a bit, then I want you to pause it so you can write this down, okay? So a truth value of a statement is determining whether it is either true or false. That's the truth value. It's either true or it's false. A compound statement is 2 or more statements joined by either and or. Okay, that's a compound statement. Statements that are often represented using the letters P and Q. So, statement like, if you're 28 and female, okay, so you have to figure out if someone represents this. So does Mrs. Shopper represent that? Yes, I'm over 28, quite a bit, and I'm female, right? So it fits it. My husband Brian, he's over 28, but he's not female, so that would be not true, okay? So we have to, that's looking at the truth value of statements, okay? Justin Morneau and Joe Mauer are the best athletes of all time, okay? Well, or we're baseball players, maybe that would be better. So then when we say that, again, you check the truth values. Both of them were baseball players, so we're true with that. So here's what you mean symbolically, all right? A negation of a statement means that it has the opposite meaning and opposite truth value. Symbolically, it's red, not P. That kind of looks like this. So a negation takes the opposite meaning and truth value. A conjunction takes 2 or more statements using the word and. This is the symbol P and Q. And a disconjunction uses the word or. So this is read P or Q. Take a moment to copy this down, pause the video. If you're feeling confused right now, that is okay. This is the first time you're hearing this. Take time to write it down and we're going to talk about it further in this video. Okay, so these are some examples of truth tables. They look a little overwhelming. Let's focus up here first. Okay, let's look at the simplest truth table there is. We've got P and we've got Q. Statement P can have a truth value of either true or false. Q can have a truth value of either true or false. So what this table displays are all the possible combinations of true and false statements. So P can be true and Q can be true. P can be true and Q can be false. P can be false while Q is true, and P is false while Q is false. This gives me all the different options, okay? If I have 3 variables, now it becomes longer. And I look at all the difference. P can be true, Q true, and R true. We can have true, true, false. True, false, true. True, false, false. So these are all my options for true. These are all my options for false. And then if I've got 4, my goodness, this one becomes even longer, okay? So what you're trying to put together are all the different combinations. There we go. Oh, something happened here. All the different combinations that work. Those are your first columns. You list all of your variables. P, Q, if you have an R, do the next, and you come up with all these different pieces. Then, you make a statement. This is P and Q. Now, in order for an and statement to be true, everything has to be true. If even just one part is false, the whole thing's false, okay? So this statement means P and Q. I want to know what is the truth value of P and Q. If P is true and Q is true, then P and Q is also true. If any one of them is false, the truth value is automatically false. You have to have all truths in an and statement to be true. Because I have a false, these all need to be false. And statements have to have all true to be true. Take a look over at this chart. I have P, Q, and R. I listed all the possibilities for true or false. And this statement is P or Q. In order to have a truth value for P or Q, only one part of it has to be true. It's saying either P or Q or both are true. So when I look at this, P is true. It doesn't matter what QR or Q is, it's true. P is true, it's going to be true. And when I'm doing P or Q, this column doesn't matter. I'm only looking at these two right here. So true, 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 true. There's my truth. There's my truth. Oh, these are both false. So that's false. These are both false. So that's false. Moving on. If you need to pause the video, replay it, you do that. Let me know what you need. This is taking 2 parts. This is taking P or Q, so this column, and this column. This column can only be true if both this, P or Q, and R are both true. So I'm looking at only these 2 columns right here. So true and true is true, false and true is false, because remember, they both have to be true in an and statement. So take some time to look at these and just kind of look at what it's talking about. The converse, inverse, contrapositive, we're going to talk more about that in the next lesson. Okay? This is creating a truth value. All right. So let's practice creating a truth table. We've got P and Q. Let's see here. Well, I'm going to have to do it right here. So my different headings, I notice up here I've got a P, a Q, and an R. So those are going to be my first boxes. P, Q, and R. So what are all my options? True, 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 false, true, false, true, and true, false, false. Then looking at the next row, I can have my P's be false. So false, true, true, false, true, false, 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 true, and false, false, false. So I'm coming up with all the different combinations. Now, when I look here, I have inverse P. That's a negation, and I don't know if you can see that with the light, but it's inverse, oh goodness. Trust me, it says inverse P. I don't know if you can, there, you can see it better that way. Inverse P. So now I need to add inverse P to my chart. Inverse P means I take the opposite of what's here. So false, 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 true, 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 true. Now my last two columns are going to be using the statements they gave. P and Q, inverse P and R. In an and statement, everything has to be true. So P and Q, I'm looking only in these two rows right here. So true, true, false, 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 false. Here, not P or inverse P and R. And again, they both have to be true in an and statement to make this true. So false, 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 true, false, true, false. There's my table, right? Creating a table. All right, last but not least, here we go. 1 foot is 4 inches. We're going to use these statements to figure out the truth value of these two. So 1 foot is 14 inches. That is a false statement. September has 30 days. That is a true statement. And R, a plane is defined by 3 non-collinear points. That is true. What is the truth value of P and Q? That means P and Q both have to be true to be truth value of true. P is false, Q is true, so the truth value of this statement is false. Looking over here, inverse P. So P is false, so inverse P is true. R is true. So the truth value of this and statement is true. Take some time, review, go back through the notes, converse with others, have a conversation. Brand new. We want you to nail it, all right? Take your time, do the studying you need to do well. Take care.